longtime executive producer of Austin City Limits. And Ray Benson, he's the reigning king of Western Swing, who appeared in the very first episode of Austin City Limits, and we're going to show you a clip of that a little later, with his legendary band, Asleep at the Wheel. He's appeared on the show more than 10 times. Acclaimed Texas singer-songwriter Robert Earl Keen has appeared on the show 6 times, starting in 1989. Folk and blues singer Ruthie Foster, a native Texan, has appeared on the show twice, in 2003 and 2021. And singer-songwriter Sarah Droz, a native of Austin, now living here in Nashville, made her ACL debut at the age of 19 in 2010. We'll see a little clip of her debut appearance, and has subsequently appeared 2 more times. So that's our panel. Let's bring them out here. Please make welcome our distinguished panelists. All right, we have a lot to talk about, but just to prime the pump, let's first view a little clip from that pilot episode of Austin City Limits. And panelists, you can watch it on this video monitor. What was that like, and how did they get you to do this TV show that was starting out of nowhere?
Well, my roommate, Joe Gracie, was a local disc jockey on KOKE-FM, which was the progressive country station, they called it. And he said, hey, I just got hired to book this TV show. And I had a big hit that year on the letter that Johnny Walker read. And so they said, oh, great, well, we want you to do the first show. There's 2, who else do you want on the show? Paul Bosner was the producer, I guess. And I said, well, the Texas Playboys, this was Bob Will's band, because they were still around, and I had just met them up in Fort Worth, in Dallas. And he said, who are they? Paul's from New York, and he didn't know who Bob Wills was. And so I said, well, they're going to do it, or we're not going to do it. Oh, okay. And that show's in the Smithsonian, I know that they put it in. So anyway, yeah, Joe was a wonderful guy, and he booked the show. And that first year was us, I think, Jimmy Buffett, Greasy Whiz, I guess. It was local, you know, it was always local. It was such an organic thing. We were all living in Austin. And like I said, Joe and I would,
Is that the first time you'd ever done TV?
oh yeah. There was, nobody wanted us. Next thing, let's see, that'd be 75, but in 76 we did the Dinah Shore Show.
And so how would you contrast your experience between Austin City Limits and Dinah Shore Show?
Well, the other act on the Dinah Shore Show was Bill Cosby. I can't use that shot anymore. But here, I will tell you what, because I remember Willie saying, he said, why are you doing this Austin City Limits show? I said, well, we just wanted a show we could do where I didn't have to tell golf jokes with Bob Hope. That was Willie's quote. And the same thing, it was simple. You go play, you think, but you gotta understand the first show, and when we went back to do the retrospect, we found out the first show was done on 2-track. You know, it was live to 2-track tape. And because none of us knew what we were doing, you know, it was perfect.
I'll tell you what, we prepared a little clip reel showing a performance of each of our panelists, and the first item on this clip that we're going to show is that first show that you were talking about, Ray. Let's fire that one
Well,
up.
let me preface this with
Okay, do that.
the outfits that we were wearing. Pam wear made these shirts, so just let her roll.
up on the show? What happened?
I saw it on television quite a few times, and I always thought that it was really cool because it seemed like something that was like, not unproduced, but just but produced in a perfectly tasteful way. And that drew my attention to the whole thing. My first time, one of my first times ever being there in person. I went there a few times just to get the free beer. Did they have free beer from the start with you?
Yeah, we did.
Pretty much?
Yeah, and who served, the first year one of the ladies who served the beer was Laura Bush.
Nobody realized that until about 30 years later. Casually mentioned that. We were in the White House, actually, the Oval Office, and I shook hands with her. She said, "Oh yeah, I used to serve beer back at Austin City." No, the beer was free. We had to get special permission from the University of Texas, but we had kegs of beer and cups of beer on the table as the audience would walk in, and it really made a difference.
That's our beer, yeah.
But, so the one of the first ones I went to was Nancy Griffith's performance there at Austin City Limits, and that's where I started my 38-year relationship with my wife. Was at that particular performance there on December 10th, 1987, I believe. No, 1983. So 1983, yeah. So she brought a boyfriend or something. I was there just to get the beer and see Nancy. And when we were leaving, I said, "Well, where are you going now?" She said, "Oh, my boyfriend's going to go study." I said, "Well, let's go down to the chili party and drink some more beer." So,
There you go. So, Ruthie, how did you first encounter the show? Was it as a viewer or a performer? How did it happen?
Yeah, I grew up watching ACL, being a Texan, East Texas anyway. There is a difference. And, oh yeah, I have to apologize for that outfit, but yeah, that was the first one. And I think at my first taping, I do recall someone saying that Leslie was there.
Leslie was a cross-dressing figure in Austin.
Yeah, and she changed outfits in the middle of my set. And I figured, man, I made it because, when you get the okay to do this show, this is like getting the golden ticket in Willy Wonka, for Texas, as a Texan, to be able to play this show. It's huge, and I've had the opportunity to do it a couple of times.
Sarah,
Including during the pandemic year, when you taped the show with no audience in the venue whatsoever, which must have been, for you, kind of a weird experience. I know it was for us.
It was surreal. Yeah. But you guys are so professional, and I've gotten to where I actually know some of the camera operators who've been there for quite some time. You made us feel very comfortable. And we just went out there and just do what we do and have a great time. Yeah.
So, Sarah, how about you? What was your first encounter with Austin City Limits?
I mean, I grew up watching it. It was like a part of the fabric of daily life. I mean, I was born in Austin, grew up in Wimberley, and my parents went to UT, so they just, they were going to see Nancy Griffith and Sean Colvin at the Cactus Cafe before anybody knew who they were. And so, when I was a baby, I just remember it was just always on, the show. And so I don't remember a time ever without it. And so, yeah, I mean, like Ruthie said, it was the golden ticket. And the fact that when I played, this was the first time I played it, and I was 18. And I had only really played gigs mostly around Austin. I hadn't really toured with bands nationwide at all. And so it was a massive opportunity for me, and it was completely life-changing. And also, these are the same boots. I'm pretty sure I bought these. These are like my prized Lucchese boots. and I think I bought them for that first episode because I was like, all right, I'm gonna be on TV for the first time. Like, I need some real
Good luck
boots.
with this.
Yeah, exactly. So still got them.
Was the studio audience filled with your friends and family that day?
It was, and actually a really cool thing about that first episode, this one, was that my parents and a lot of my family and friends were captured in some of the audience shots, and so sometimes when I go back and see that, it's just like this little time capsule and keepsake personally for me to get to see that. And I think that was the last season in the original KUT building, right?
The original Studio 6A up on the
Yeah.
campus, and yeah, after 36 years, we moved into our new home in downtown Austin. Hard to believe we've been there for 15 years now. This quickly is the last show we ever taped in Studio 6A after 36 years, and of course it was with Lyle. And what you see here is at the end of his set, Lyle was trying to pull a surprise on us. He had invited the entire staff to come up on stage and join him, which is what we did. That included the camera operators, lighting people, everybody. But quickly, the PAs, the production interns and so forth, jumped in there, took over the cameras, and basically continued to record the show, which was a surprise to us too. It actually turned out pretty well, as you can see. So that was a very cool, sweet thing for Lyle to do on that very, very last show. So that's what that's all about.
I wanted to ask you a follow-up, Terry, which is, how do you all...
In less than a month, on 2017, 2024, we're taping a new show with Willie in Austin. It's going to be outside of our studio. We're actually setting it up at the Long Center, which is across the lake from downtown Austin, with the real Austin skyline in the background, not the fake one. And Willie's coming back to do that show. So that's going to be a historic night in Always One. Of course, we're recording it, so you'll get to see it on PBS after the first of the year.